Do we want to do a before the theme song joke? Meep.
Meep.
Meep. Meep.
Meep.
Meep.
Meep.
Meep.
Meep.
Meep.
Meep. Meep.
Meep.
Meep.
This is going to be the worst to organize. You're going to have so much trouble with Craig.
End theme song.
Da 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 da. There's 104 days of summer vacation. Oh, I'm about to sneeze.
And, Jesus.
Very nice. All right. Ready?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Implications of Phineas and Ferb podcast.
There's 365 days in a gap year. Uni's gonna come and end it. So the once in a lifetime problem for us is find a good way to spend it. Making a podcast.
So I know I said last time that the last episode was the sort of the first season 2-y feeling episode, but this episode, holy crap.
I remember the last time we had Zach on, we said we'd never have him back.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that isn't
Well,
true.
guess what?
This son of a bitch.
I'm back. I was reading those comments on that brand new YouTube channel. Check it out. You all want me back. I'm here.
Yep, yep.
You love to see it. We love
Every
to see
single
it.
comment was, I want
Yeah.
Zach back. So we
I'm
had
pretty
to
sure
have
there's
him
only
back.
one comment, and it's from me about getting back on. So
Don't show off our secrets.
And what better episode to get Zach back for than the Chronicles of Meap?
It's a good episode.
what a guy.
Now, because it's one of the large ones, in terms of synopsis, I think we'll just do a quick rundown. Phineas and Ferb kind of just get Meap, the alien, down on Earth. He just rocks up, having a good time, and then all sorts of shenanigans happen when his nemesis...
So yeah, Chronicles of Meap. Let's just get right bloody into it.
All right, we've got to talk about the flying ball thingy.
Yep, the
The baseball
the
launcher.
cold open. They've got a baseball launcher with a remote-controlled baseball. Now, I'm not an expert on sports ball, as both of you two know. But
Sports ball.
as a person who has quite possibly the most shallow knowledge of all sports in all of human history, it seems like it would be against the rules to use a ball that you can remote control. Am I correct in that assessment?
Zach?
I've thought long and hard about this. I think you're correct. I think it's borderline cheating.
Borderline.
A bit
Borderline,
close.
yeah.
If they
Borderline,
caught you,
borderline.
there might be a little scandal. It's not as bad as, sandpapering the ball right in front of everyone during the Australian
Yeah.
cricket.
Yeah. Shout out to the Australian cricket team for the darkest year of my life.
You idiots. Anyway, that was fun. But
Sports
this
references.
is more than just a remote control ball. This is like a properly flying ball that can not only lift its own weight, but the weight of Candace, Meep, and a bike, but also do escape velocity.
Yep, it can go so fast it can hit an alien spaceship.
They don't do things by halves, do they?
No, they don't.
They're like, are we going to cheat in baseball? Yes. Are we going to make it like we can hit the ball so hard it never comes back down? Yes. That is a home run.
How is it flying though? Like with what system? Because it doesn't appear to have propulsion. Like no.
Yeah, it's just like hover tech.
It's hovering.
It's
Hovering.
Phineas and Ferb tech. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and it's beautifully good.
So they crash a spaceship, and out of that spaceship pops Meap.
Meep.
Meap.
Meep.
And the whole message here is you don't judge a book by its cover, and of course you've got to start paying that off at the start.
Yes.
With Candace looking across the books.
Candace looks at some books, and she's like, I don't want to read these, they have bad covers. And the mum's like, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. And she's like, that's what a cover's for. And can I just say,
100%
she's correct. She is 100% correct.
100%.
This is me in primary school. Like, you have to go to the library and pick a book to read. I'd be there.
Yeah.
So my teacher would be like,
I was
"Miss,
there
I don't
with
like
you
the
at
look of
primary
any of these
school."
books. She goes, you didn't even read
Like,
the first
Clifton
page.
If you can't
hated
judge
you
a
for
book by
that.
a cover, why are people commissioning really nice cover artworks?
People have been paid to do a good job to make a cover.
And you're disrespecting how
Their
much
work.
effort they put in to make that cover memorable.
It's just like saying
Yeah.
you don't look at the logo of this beautiful podcast when you decide to watch. Like, of course you do. You look at it and you're like, this is quality logo.
And you're
quality
like, wow,
podcast.
those boys really put some effort into doing some graphic design,
And
even
some
though they've
quality
never done it
content.
before.
Graphic design is my passion.
Tempted to change the logo just this week to like implications.
my
just
hand drawing,
IOPath.
my hand drawing
Yes.
of Phineas and Ferb. I'll do that.
Just the words IOPath in Microsoft Paint in like bright lime green font on a white background.
Paint. What a classic.
Love MS Paint.
Paint is good.
So they crash the spaceship. We get a classic joke with Perry going away to go do his mission and running into Meap.
Meep.
Meep.
Meep. Meep.
Meep.
And so on and so forth into infinity.
Yep, until eventually he looks and he's just like, what? Who is that? And then continues to do his job.
Perry is unbothered. And to be a secret agent, you honestly have to be unbothered. Like, just take it each punch as it comes.
In this episode, there is a point when Doof wears a giant sock.
Mm-hmm.
And Perry's just like,
that's chill. I'm going to kick you off a spaceship.
You imagine how
Straight
good looking
savage
Meep would
moments.
look with the fedora? Him and Perry, the
Oh.
dream team.
They would be the dream team.
does Alka need a space division?
They do
They
now.
can be the intergalactic.
Yeah, as of very
Organization with a
recently, Donald
terrible
Trump
name.
established the Space Force.
That was so dumb.
It's so fucking dumb.
Did you watch the
But
Netflix
does that mean
series
that
they made on
Alka
that?
needs a Space Force division as well? And what Netflix series are?
We'll talk about it later. It's literally called Space Force.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ! Anyway, case in point at Perry not being able to hold his temper and not lose his shit. Carl and Monogram are just having fun at work.
Yeah, they're just like, you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna do that handsy thing. Like, I'll be
The
your
hands.
hands. Oh, classic. I love doing that. That's a lot of fun.
Primary school flashbacks right here.
All right, so now Phineas and Ferb, Ferb decides to fix up the spaceship while Phineas goes looks for Meep. And they come across some really interesting technology, and that is the quantum front loading system. Now, I don't want to call out the beautiful writers of this show, but it looks like they've done an Ant-Man, and they've got a normal thing, a front loading system, and chucked the word quantum in front of it to make it sound sciencey.
Now, this came out well before Ant-Man. I'd like to say that the MCU's been copying from this show from day one. And the fact that there's a Marvel crossover kind of proves that point. This show was the MCU well before the MCU was a thing.
They've obviously just tried to live up to their own heroes.
Superheroes. We have got Phineas and Ferb. They can do anything. Of course, they're superheroes.
Yeah.
We have got, as of this episode, some continuity. Because
he does all of his backstories. He says in what sort of order they are, which is good.
He mentions a previous backstory. We're getting across episode continuity. That's another thing that makes us feel like
It was
season
like
2 episode. This is
Inception.
when they
It was backstory and
Yeah,
Inception.
exactly.
It was great.
Backstory
Backstory
in a
and a
backstory. And if you want to actually listen and see the hilarious jokes about the backstories,
yes, because
you got to watch the show.
Because skipping slightly ahead, this is quite possibly the best Doof backstory in the entire show.
100%.
I am comfortable with making that claim.
Fair.
It is
fair
a
enough.
fantastic backstory.
I do love the love handle one though. where he
Oh,
gets love
true,
handle. He's like,
yeah.
love handle in my backstory. I know people, and I'm like, that's not how time works, but okay.
This show, man, this show. So yeah, speaking of Doof's backstory, Doof has carpeted the entirety of Doof and Smirk's Evil Incorporated because he wants to get his friend Balloony back.
I love Balloony.
Best character in the entire show.
He's so good.
Imagine how much
Also,
that
Lil
carpet
Flora.
cost.
Holy crap! I didn't even think about that.
Like, he covered
You
the
know
whole
what?
building.
Rugs-
That's a big building.
And
And,
rugs
the
aren't
inside of the
cheap.
building.
Good lord.
And then his plan is to dress up in a massive sock. Where did he just make the sock himself? And run the electricity through himself.
This episode is so fast paced because we can't come to a conclusion about anything because it's always another ridiculous thing that's just immediately happening afterwards. What an adventure! Like,
It's what
kind
Meap
of
brings.
insane, yeah.
Meap just brings
It's Meap.
good
The
content.
Chronicles of Meap and the other 2, 3, 4, whatever episodes they make of him are quite good.
oh yes.
They're some of the best ones.
I've literally gotten my notes. Actually, that's quite relevant. This is such a good episode. Just in all caps.
It's the first appearance of Balloony, and it's huge caps because Balloony.
I've just got Balloony just written there.
Anyway, in the side plot, kind of side plot of Phineas finding Meat, trying to look for her, there's the whole cute meter. And
Oh yes,
Isabella,
this is very sweet, but also
Poor-
rip Isabel.
poor Isabella. He's just like, oh, I'm getting some cute interference. She's like, oh, there's nothing cute around you. No, it's 3 miles in the opposite direction.
roasted.
Shot
Rips
down.
Isabella.
Yeah, and she's trying so hard, and then at the end he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I've already calculated for your cuteness. If I didn't, it would break the machine." Why didn't he just lead with that? He could have just led with
once
that.
he did
could've
that,
just
he
been
then was like, "I'll just put it back to normal mode," and it blows up in his hand because Isabella's just that cute.
"Yeah, she's
Yeah.
just that cute. It breaks the machine, so now he can't find Meep anymore."
And firstly, not only has he quantified cuteness, but he based the very definition of it around Isabella.
yeah,
That's so sweet.
it is. It is very sweet.
You'd love to see it. I've got written about Doof's plan. This isn't even evil.
No, he
He
just,
just
well,
wants his balloon.
at the start, he just wants his balloon back.
And that's why when they go up to the spaceship and Perry socks him in the fucking face, I'm like, that's a bit mean, to be honest.
And then he's like, "I'm falling. I'm gonna die." And Perry's like, "Right," and then just immediately jumps back out the spaceship he just came in.
Probably
which I found
saves
kinda funny.
Doof. He's just the top guy.
He'd have to save Doof.
Yeah, he'd
Of
have
course
to
he
save
did.
Doof because he was the one who nearly killed him. And by nearly, I mean
Can't,
he
can't
would
kill
have
your
if
arch
he hadn't saved
nemesis.
him.
That's way too gruesome for Disney.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
no.
too bad.
They've got a repartee going on, like a bit of a interaction thing going on. They can't kill one or the other. Like
No.
that would ruin their whole thing.
That
That'd
doesn't work.
lose
Are
the
we going
G
to talk
rating.
about the lifelong lasting spray?
I
A
want
spray
some.
that makes
That is
ballooning
some high quality
indestructible.
spray.
What
What-
does it work on?
What does it do? Could I spray myself in the face and then just be?
I think it
And then just-
protects it from all the outside elements, so like nothing gets through. So like sunlight
Yeah, and
doesn't
it
fade
also
it and all
protects
that.
from
Yeah, that's
stretching as well,
true.
because that's what balloons do when they go up into
Because
space.
if we can, spoilers for later in the season, if you're watching for the first time with us, skip like a couple seconds ahead. But Balloony gets popped later, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In one of the later episodes, so it doesn't protect from like sharp objects. Like just
I
deliberate
think
popping.
I think it's stretching.
That would make sense.
It protects from stretching, but then popping still wouldn't work. But like again, Doof go into business. Go into the face cream business.
Yeah.
Just spray people on their skin.
Yeah.
Their skin doesn't age. Like
Yeah.
they'll still die because it doesn't do anything
Like you
internally.
could get a permanent spray tan. Put a spray tan on. Put that on. You're that tan for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and you know how much money you'd make as long as you didn't go too hard. Like if you went orange, then you'd be stuffed
Donald Trump.
because then you'd have to get another white spray tan to like cover up the orange, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you'd end up with like 3 layers of just this crummy like plastic stuff. Ugh. Ugh.
Pretty sure that's how the current president of the United States came to be the way that he is.
What a guy. Oh,
Whoa.
jeez.
What a mad lad! Everyone just loves all of his policies and loves him all the time, myself included. I'm a very big fan. That is a joke. Fuck that man.
We do indeed also love it when Ferb not only
Tricks
makes
out the car.
he doesn't not only fixes the car, he tricks it
Talk
out.
about pimp my
And I
ride.
quote,
Pimp my ride, Ferb edition.
Ferb, fix the I-30 for me.
This is
falling
some
apart.
big dick energy in action. He's just like,
W-
how can I get every girl in the world just know that I've got a big dick? This how you do
I
it.
don't,
Build the coolest
fly around the
freaking
sun.
spaceship ever.
I've literally got here an exact Ferb quote. I am just now realizing that not all of the modifications I've made are strictly street legal.
He's broken the intergalactic law just so he can pimp out his ride and do a good joyride.
I mean, why
That
wouldn't
is
you?
some top tier
Did we
shit.
count how many gears it had? Because
It was
had a
at
lot
least
of gears.
27.
At least he's done the Vin Diesel approach of Fast and Furious.
keep
It's like when
up-
you need to
Yeah, just
cut, you
Yeah.
just cut to them upping the
Yep.
gear, despite them already doing that another 4 times.
Yeah, so you can just keep going up and up and up.
you
gears
just keep going
forever.
up and up. And then there's a point where his actual flesh,
his flesh becomes a
comes
hoodie.
off.
It just comes straight back off his head.
and he's just like, oh crap,
Pop
gotta
that
grab
back on.
that, flicks it back on his
How about
head.
the harness? How
Um,
he clips it in like 4 different ways. That is, he ain't
Oh,
moving.
you'd have. He was like, I ain't moving, but
He's
his
got a
flesh was
full
like,
flight
I'm outta
harness.
here.
With his skin coming off, that implies that Ferb's skin is not attached to the rest of him and it can be taken on and off.
It
at
means
his leisure.
everyone's skin is like that. Then kind of maybe.
Does it though? Maybe it's just Ferb. Maybe,
Maybe
it's
it's
just
just
Maybe
British.
just Ferb is wearing the
it's a
British are
just
all
British
wearing
things.
flesh hoodies because they're lizard people.
Don't like that implication.
Anyway, he
I-
goes to his milkshake bar.
Yes,
Gets
the
a
shooting
milkshake
I'll say a
star
good
for free.
milkshake. I was like, oh damn, I
looked
want
like
a
a good
milkshake
one.
now.
And he sculled that down. He was just like,
Shout out to milkshakes. Milkshakes are
what a
so
classic.
good.
a good milkshake is like
Underrated.
the epitome of good
Milkshakes are
stuff.
underrated.
Milkshakes were temporarily ruined for me for a year and a half long period of my life because there was a point where every weekend I'd spend 6 to 9 hours pumping out 2 a minute every minute for 6 hours.
That time you were employed.
Yeah, imagine having a job.
Imagine being employed at just myself.
I called myself a barista in early episodes, but it was much more professional milkshake maker, if we're honest here.
To be honest, I'd rather someone who could make a good milkshake than a good coffee. Yes, I'll probably pay a lot of hate from that, but I don't drink coffee.
Milkshake,
fair enough.
than
And
coffee.
if you were like,
that's facts, Zach.
Yeah.
That's facts.
and if you were like, if you were like, coffee's disgusting and everyone who drinks is gross, that would be like, don't be like that. But saying milkshake is better than coffee, I don't think that's particularly controversial.
all right.
In fact,
It's
I
facts.
agree.
It's not controversial.
If we're starting to talk about controversial, what's our favorite milkshake flavor?
Chocolate.
Banana. I know, I'm going to get abused. Abused,
Ooh,
I know.
fuck.
What'd you say?
Banana.
Fuck, I'm gonna abuse you.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Banana milk is
podcast.
underrated. Everyone hates on
banana milk is banana.
It doesn't even
is
taste
not
like
meant to go
banana.
in milk.
Do you know what we used to do at my place of employment? We would make all of the other milkshakes with flavoring, but we made the banana milkshakes with actual banana. And then we swapped to syrup one day, and I asked why it was, and my boss told me it was because we kept getting complaints that the banana milkshakes didn't taste like banana when we were putting actual bananas in them.
Yep. My point is,
I'd
banana
say
milkshakes
caramel.
taste amazing. I don't care what goes in it. That's what they've called. They could name it something else, and I'd be like, yep, whatever flavoring that is, I
rainbow
want to drink it.
milkshake.
The fuck is a rainbow milkshake?
A banana milkshake. It's like the rainbow paddle pop. The rainbow paddle pop is actually a
Joe,
caramel paddle.
get that.
No,
Get that fake news
get that attitude
out of this podcast. Rainbow flavored paddle pop is rainbow tasting. It's this caramel bullshit. Having none of it.
Get out of here. Yeah. Well, mine is also caramel milkshake. So
I love talking about ice creams and being Australian because not only do
Golden
we have our
Gay Time.
favourites, but yeah, inevitably it leads to someone bringing up a Golden Gay Time and then some American or some, foreigner writing in and going, the fuck are you doing just randomly topic change to a Golden Gay Time that's inappropriate for a podcast? And what are you doing? It's like, no. You haven't been to heaven until you've had a Golden Gay Time with the homies.
there's some good stuff. You need a good
If
golden
you're not having a gay
in
time
your
with the
life.
homies, then are you really homies?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
You just get a Golden Gay Time, shove it like
Right
in
down
your
your
mouth.
throat in front of your friends.
Yeah, and there's no better feeling. You're like
gotta
in
have-
public as well. Like you go to a pool, like it just tastes
Oh,
better
yeah.
at the pool, you know?
Yeah, as long as
Yeah.
other people are watching and you make sure you've got eye contact with the homies as you do it. Like
Yeah, just to
direct
rub in
eye
the fact that you're getting a Golden Gay Time and they're not.
Yeah, you gotta make sure.
Remember when,
you know
remember when
what's
ice
up.
cream and paddle pops used to be cheap, like around $1, and now they're like, I don't know how much they are, but
Yeah,
inflation sucks,
Our
man.
canteen sold
Inflation's
sold
so
them for
shit.
like 60 cents when I was in primary school.
Yeah, like
Holy
those
fuck, it was
lemonade
good.
ones that are still the best icy poles ever.
Yep.
They used to be like 60 cents, and then they
easy, yeah.
climbed up to 90, and now I've seen them for $1.20.
Oh,
and I
$1.20.
wanna
Oh,
That
try
is
it.
fucking
that hurts.
ridiculous.
I want to just go up to the and be like, I know it's not you, and I know it's just retail life, and I know someone's just rose the prices
but
on
you're
you,
fine.
but I want to
It's
smack
either
you.
they up the prices, but do they up the wages? No.
Wage growth
Exactly. Thank
in
you,
this
Zach.
country.
Yeah, wage
No,
growth doesn't
thank you.
exist. I mean, especially to American workers. It's been like 18 years
Ooh.
since they've had an increase in real wages or something dumb like that.
Yikes.
Sorry, America.
Americans. You know,
Yeah.
this podcast is just professional American
We could
bagging
say
out, isn't it?
implications of Phineas and Ferb and shitting on everything American except Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, exactly.
If you live
Yeah.
in America, just
The-
move.
There is one
Well,
good.
not right now. You can.
Not right now.
14 days
There's
quarantine,
one-
you can.
New Zealand's not letting you in.
There is one good spot in America, and that's Venice Beach.
No.
Next to Jeff's.
Have you actually-
Yeah, that's where Jeff Marsh lives, and we support that because he's like surfing, and there's good waves there. I'm
Oh.
like, fair enough. I
I've
support
actually
that.
been to Venice
Yeah.
Beach. It's a bit overrated. I know I'm gonna get some hate from these American. But if you go to an Australian beach, you'll be like, God damn, Venice, what?
but not Bondi.
So you know
Fuck
that
Bondi.
YouTube
Yeah,
comment we had
Bondi's
that
just,
said
Bondi's
we
just
want.
overrated. It's like, oh my God, go to Bondi Beach. You go like,
It's not even the nicest beach in Bondi.
Yeah.
And
You legit,
anyway,
you
you know how we've
walk
got
a kilometre to the south or a kilometre to the north, you're like, whoa, this is so
and
much
it's nicer.
quieter
Yeah, exactly.
and better.
Exactly.
Whoa.
I was going to say there's the one comment on the video that Zach put that says, I want Zach back, is now going to be another comment directly underneath it saying, I don't like Zach. He shits on our beaches. Please never come back on.
So, back to the show that we're actually supposed to be fucking talking about right now. They've stopped at the Milkshake Bar. Absolutely wonderful. Get the milkshakes. We've already discussed how that's how they get their money for all of their adventures. I've already mentioned how this feels like the first
Anyway,
scale episode.
we meet the arch nemesis.
Oh, yes,
of
that's
Meap.
right.
And I'd like to also bring up, Meap never changes his name.
Mhm.
Because Meap is his language.
Yeah.
All he says is, Meap.
But
That's
when,
not his name.
Yeah, but he also never brings up his actual name.
Can you imagine your name being English? And someone calling you English and you not correcting them when you could finally speak?
Do you mean Australian?
Why does
we don't speak
English?
Just ask
Yeah, we
anyone.
don't speak English. We speak Aussie. But also,
Bye-bye.
English sounds like a name.
It is
Like-
Johnny English.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. It's a last name, but it sounds like it could be a first name because like
That's
people
also
name their
'cause your
kids
father's
stupid shit. Like
Name is two last names, so maybe you're a bit.
Fair.
You're desensitized to this, Murray Russell.
fair. But like it sounds like because people name their kids after all sorts of fucking stupid shit.
Nile,
People name their kids India.
North.
Name their kids London.
South
Name their
West.
kids North.
East.
West, East.
Any other directions?
And their kids latitude 161.5, longitude 19.4.
we should find the latitude longitude mark for like something crazy dumb, like Tamworth. Just the center of Tamworth, and name our kid that, like Elon did.
Why
No.
would you name your
Macca's
kid after
East Car Park.
Tamhole?
Macca's East Car Park.
Yes!
That's what you should name.
Where
Oh,
the gangs meet up.
Macca's East.
Anyway, arch nemesis of Meap is indeed
Mitch.
now. Mitch is a serious name. We got to discuss that.
Just-
That's,
Like, you hear
I
Mitch
like-
and you're just like, oh shit, I'm scared. It's Mitch.
it's
This
Mitch.
episode, that segues nicely in this point. This episode is a masterclass in just doing dumb subversions.
Yeah,
Almost all the comedy in this episode comes from you think one thing's going to happen and then another thing happens.
yeah,
It's
because
part
the
Mitch.
message is don't judge a book by its cover.
Ah,
And also,
it's
he's
thematic.
he's not a zookeeper because that gives him some credibility. He's a poacher.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just ask
'Cause of the
Isabella.
sounds.
He's straight to it. Just, you're a poacher.
Now,
He would have a platypus.
yet another controversial stance to take on this podcast. Not a fan of poachers.
Who is a fan of poachers?
I just don't think you should murder and imprison animals. I'm just not about that.
Oh, you're not about that?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I totally thought you were for it.
yeah.
Because, like, I see you down the street just shooting and
Just, like,
murdering
snorting
animals.
I see you
all the
buying
tusk ivory off
ivory
the desk
every
or
day.
something.
Like, oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And my pool table downstairs got completely ivory pool balls because that's what they best used for. Did you not know that?
I did not know
Really?
that. No.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
nice.
know that pool balls. Were made
Yeah,
out of
original
ivory.
pool balls were made out of ivory,
Really?
which was, elephant tusk.
I think
Yeah,
I'd
you
rather
gotta go.
rather an
Every day.
elephant or a rhino than an ivory pool ball. But
Yeah, can
Yeah,
you
I agree
imagine
with
not
that.
going downstairs and showing a pool ball, but going downstairs and showing a real life elephant?
Yeah,
That'd-
that'd be pretty.
yeah,
sick.
that'd get more women into bed. 100%.
Spoiler alert,
Uh,
that's still poaching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also would that get? It's. I don't know if anyone's going to see an elephant and be like, "Well, that's pretty sick."
Hey,
Owning an elephant.
Lachlan, how would you know?
Oh,
That's a rip.
Shots fired.
But have you ever ridden an elephant?
No.
Yeah, they're kind of alright.
Have you ever ridden a
So-
woman? No.
Have you
Zach,
ever ridden
please
an elephant?
bring that negativity out of here.
Have
I'm
you
pretty
ever
sure
ridden
I
an
have.
elephant?
Yeah,
When?
in Thailand.
You've been to Thailand?
How'd you not know
I've
that?
been to Thailand.
How do I
With
not know
Ruth
all of
and
these
Mum.
things?
It was like, hang on, I've got a quick story. Really humid, horrible weather. Like it's still like 33 degrees, but you feel like you're swimming.
Yeah, you know
Right?
Sounds
Darwin on the Central Excursion. Times that by 100,
Oh,
and that's what it is.
God.
Yeah, yeah. So that was what
So-
Thailand was like. Guess what?
Darwin shouldn't be part of Australia.
Guess-
People like, can we keep New Zealand?
Hang on, did you hear
and then
about
just fuck the
Northern
Northern
Queensland
Territory
wanting
off?
to be its own state?
They can be
I said
their
they
own.
can be their own
We
country.
don't
Tell them
want
to fuck
them.
off. Just get out of here.
they can get out of here. They can be their own like state city. Like they can be the Hong Kong of Australia if they want. Anyway, guess what my mum ate? Guess the only thing she consumed like
What?
as food
Clam
source.
chowder.
Yeah, different types of soup.
What?
That's what she did in
We're
America too.
basically,
So,
I don't
yeah.
understand. Soup is not that great, mum.
No, it's
she just
not.
loves it for no
If
reason.
you want a universal food, every culture has their version of the burger.
Or
Every
a sandwich.
culture
Yeah. Like
will
that's
get
it.
a
It's soup all
starch
the way.
and they'll put meat in it.
Yeah.
Every single culture.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
But no soup.
Yeah.
I guess every culture has a
It's
type
it's
of
funny.
soup
We
as
were
well.
in
Every culture
America.
has a
Joe
type
would
of
be
soup,
like,
but soup isn't
"Oh,
good.
you're having some clam chowder for dinner tonight, Beth." It's like, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty looking forward to it." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah, so she would be eating soup, Ruth would be drinking cocktails, and I was there being underage.
Yeah.
That's a big rip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shout out to the
it's a sad
Cheesecake
time.
Factory though.
Were you actually? You were actually 18, weren't you? But
Yeah.
because their thing's 21.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can-
Joe was like, what, 18 for 3 days? He could drink for 3 days, and then he's like,
Oh,
"In American
Oh,
time,"
yeah,
Hold
and then
on.
I went to America. Yeah, that was...
and couldn't drink.
No, I wasn't 18 in Thailand. I was younger.
That is a fat rip.
It is.
So with back to the episode, the reason that I brought up the whole thing about subverting expectations is we get a wonderful set of Star Wars references and or anti-references.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
With
So-
them first going up to the spaceship, and he's like, "Oh, it looks like a cloud."
That's no cloud. That's a space station. And I'm like, sweet. So
I
Star Wars
have a
reference.
good feeling about this.
And I'm like, what the fuck was that? It's like, it's an anti-reference. It's like, you have to know the thing
have to know
get
the
how
reference.
it's not right,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah, but
And-
of course, you would have seen Star Wars
Yeah, if
seen
you haven't,
this.
you're
And we
uncultured.
get-
And
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we
get-
get the best one. And just so we're clear, I am not your father.
And they'd set that up from the start when they just
Yep.
thought he was the father for no reason, and then it pays off with the
This episode
not
is
your
also
father.
quite good at setting things up well in advance and then paying them off.
yeah. You don't know
Um,
where it's going, and at the end you're like, oh,
yeah.
I
And-
see what they were doing.
And
there.
speaking of that, with the strike 1 and then strike 3 joke, they make a joke where Candace takes out these robots with the pitching machine. She's like, strike 3, you're out. And Phineas goes, where was strike 2? I'm like,
do you need
was
me
that
to explain
a...
how strikes work, Lachlan? Did you pick up
No.
on that?
I did pick up on that.
Can
There's
you
no
count
strike
to
2.
3?
I think because they're all about setup and payoff in this one. I think that was like a reference to the setup, reminder, payoff thing.
Yeah,
There
they were
was
just
no
like, look, we made a
strike.
mistake.
There was like no strike 2 reminder there. It was just the setup and then the payoff without the reminder 3 act sort of thing in the middle.
Yeah,
they're
so
like,
they were
"This
like,
is-
look, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
I like that. And in pointing that out, they made an even funnier joke. So I support that. And there's also a wonderful ET reference where Candace
on the-
hops on the bike with the
Flying
balls and the wheels
baseballs.
and flying baseballs and just flies straight up to the
I'd rather
space
this
station.
episode than I do ET.
Yeah, ET is
Bit overrated.
I
I
have-
said it's overrated.
I'd say all those 80s film people love that are cult classics, I don't really like.
Except
Ah,
for
there's-
Back to the Future and Star
Back to the
Wars
Future,
I did
and
love
Indiana
Back to the
Jones.
Future. Star Wars
Everything
is-
else.
mm.
Get it.
Oh, Indiana Jones. Yeah, no, I'll agree with you there. I take it back.
there's a lot
Yeah,
of
there's
good
a lot
I
of
content.
don't
good.
like.
This leads into a topic of conversation we had earlier today. Joe's not a fan of Ferris Bueller or The Breakfast Club.
Ferris Bueller, I have
Joe,
seen completely,
I'm with you. Dude,
and it was a bit.
Let me ask
boring.
you something, guys.
I didn't.
What the fuck did John Hughes ever do to you?
I don't know who John.
He
Hughes
directed
is.
both of them.
Okay, well, John Hughes needs to get some ADHD or snort some drugs because there was nothing keeping me there.
yeah.
The first half, I only got through the half hour of Breakfast Club because I'm just like, I don't care.
I'd rather
And
go
then
out
like-
and watch grass grow or paint dry. Like, it's just...
It's about
I'd actually
the
rather
character
paint, and I
dynamics and
hate
the
painting.
relationships. That's what it's about.
Well, I don't
but
wanna
they
watch a
didn't
movie
even
about
have
that.
a relationship until half an hour later. Yeah, I live it every day of my life. If I
Okay,
wanted
touche.
to watch failed relationships, Lachlan,
I just
would do what I'm
googled
doing now.
Zach and Joe on YouTube. Like, that's how easy it is.
I'd go to the dictionary and look at Joseph Ross Ward, and it just says failed relationship.
Yeah, I can't argue with that
If you
one.
want to know
I
more
can't- I can't
about
argue
failed
with that.
relationships, just go to Elysian.
Has anyone got anything else?
Yeah, we get a very funny moment where Doof shows up and he looks at the scenario and immediately goes, "Oh, this is a Nemesis confrontation."
He's like, oh, it's this ends
Yeah.
here, what sort of style?
Yeah, it's like-
not
he's like-
fun.
He's like a tall dude that we can understand yelling, and then a little dude who we can't understand
And doesn't
trying
talk.
to stop him.
Mhm.
I know this scenario. I've been
I've seen
here.
this before.
right?
Yeah.
And you can see by their faces, like, oh, it's a dual end all. You guys keep going. I'm gonna keep playing around with my nemesis. We're in that like honeymoon period where we're just having some fun. I like that. I really like how they've done the nemesis as the like actual relationship.
If only had a
style.
soundboard, you
Mm.
could press. Oh.
And then we get a bit of a balloony breakup.
Oh, this was
is heartbreaking.
rough.
Mm.
This is rough.
Doof finds Balloony,
With Mitch.
and he's like, "Balloony, I freed you. Let's go." And he
But
walks over.
he's not
He's just
even
like,
Balloony
Colin.
now.
It's Colin.
It's Colin.
He's renamed Balloony, and sorry, I'm getting a
Bit emotional.
so. But he asks Balloony to follow him. Balloony doesn't move because he's a balloon,
the
and
stationary balloon.
he
doesn't
stays
move.
there, and he's like, "I don't need you anyway," and he leaves by getting kicked out by Perry. But like he leaves, and Balloony stays with Mitch.
Colin.
It's now Colin.
He's now
Colin.
called Colin.
Mitch and Colin.
And it's
What
Mitch's
a
best friend.
powerhouse duo though. Like,
Oh,
if someone's gonna terrorize Earth, it's a duo called Mitch and Colin. Like,
Mitch and Colin. If we're ever going to get invaded by aliens, we are now going to call them Mitch and Colin, even though they'll be like massacring. Lots of people will be like, "Yep, there you go."
there
Mitch
goes
and
Mitch and Colin at it again. We saw this
New
7
New
years
alien
ago.
life
We knew it was
discovered.
coming.
Mitch and Colin.
Mm.
What about Meap shooting a rainbow laser out of his mouth?
Oh yeah, Meep having the special alien power.
Yeah, Meep's deadly.
But what's his face? Mitch is from the same species.
Yeah, surely you can do that
Yeah,
too.
can Mitch do that too?
Oh, don't they explain later that it's like cuteness factor? The cuter you are, more powerful you are. And so
yeah.
because Meep's cute, he
that
has, like,
leads
the
nicely
cute ray.
into at the end we see a trailer for the next episode.
Oh, these are so good. This
And
is
it's
more of setting
so
up
funny.
to pay off because they pay it off in the next episode. Also, Zach, you're coming back for that, right?
100%.
Chronicles of
I
Meap
can't miss
Part
Meatless
2.
in Seattle.
It's in Seattle.
Classic.
Seattle is such a fun.
My last thing to
location.
bring up, the mustache translator.
That's
I want one.
I want one.
Yeah, how does it work? And if Phineas and Ferb put it on, could they speak Meep?
Oh,
Does it work in reverse?
I'd assume
Yes.
it says a
Yeah,
universal
can you
mustache.
do any language to any language. But how does it decide which
Yeah.
language to speak?
Or does it by default translate everything to English? And by proxy, does that imply that English is the universal language?
Or does it do that?
For like,
Well, that's what
fancy
America
thing
would want
where
to
it
tell you.
just-
yeah, America's like, you speak English or get fucked. I'm like, how about you'll learn another language? I mean,
How
people
about we do this
who
wonderful thing called the metric system?
Like
There's
Latin.
people in my uni who are on their third language and they're fucking smarter than you. Like they're actually speaking
Yeah.
coherently, and you're on your first one. You can't even speak that correctly.
Did you see the casually explained video of people who can speak language? America, 0.8 of a language. In Germany, it's
accurate.
like 2.4.
Mm.
Well, I
can't
mean,
even speak
Europe's
one.
surrounded by many different languages, so like,
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to learn them. But it does make you more intelligent. Like it plays like you.
Yeah,
your
I'd love
brain
to
does
learn
stuff.
another language, but
Like,
I'm too stupid.
in good old
Well,
Australia, our closest neighbours are
it's
some fish in
motivation.
the sea. Like, well, we're gonna start
Yeah,
talking
true.
fish? No.
And I mean,
New
I mean,
Zealand,
I
but we
mean,
don't
I
talk
don't
to them.
speak sexual intercourse with sheep, so I can't communicate with New
Yeah.
Zealanders.
Yeah,
Which
it's
is
just-
why this podcast is so difficult. I have to get everything translated through Zach to talk to Joe.
Yeah, that's why I wear a mustache whenever we talk in the booth.
Yeah, if he
It's-
took this
it
off,
doesn't
he'd
need-
just leave. He'd be like, "This is hell on earth."
Oh, so that's removable, is it? A little fluff you got there?
You talking about fluff as you try and shave yourself with your fingernail. You can bugger off.
Imagine being able to grow facial hair.
Yeah, no, I'll pay that. I don't mind not growing facial
that wasn't
hair.
a
I
rip
wish
on
I
you, that
didn't
was a
grow
rip on
facial hair.
me.
I hate shaving. It's just like, I don't need hair on my face. Why is it here?
It is too much effort, and the
Yeah.
worst part is some guys when they don't shave, it's like rugged sort of a morning.
Looks nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it looks
Some men
nice. It
can
looks
pull it
slightly
off.
unkempt.
just look
you can pull it off
ugly.
and stuff. Yeah, when I don't shave, I look like a fucking rat. I mean, I look like that when I do shave, but still.
It's even worse. All right, Zach, you got any things to end it off? Anything you noticed in the app you want to talk about?
We didn't really talk about the Bangaroos.
Yeah, no.
We barely mentioned them.
No,
yeah.
we have not talked about them.
They also going to not really go anywhere, do they?
Do you remember Furbies?
Crazy for that. Furbies. That's what they are.
Furbies. Oh my god.
Do you know what Furbies are?
I know what Furbies are. Yeah. No, I was thinking it was
My
more like
sister had a Furby.
My brother had a
died.
Furby.
Let me
and
Google
Jesus
it
Christ.
while you guys.
My
talk.
mum threw it in the bin one day. She's like, "I'm sick of this." Just picked up like,
Yeah, no. What's creepier than just a normal working Furby is one with flat batteries because everything gets slowed down, and so
Oh,
like they
yeah.
wink slowly, and they like, and it's like Dementor. It's just Harry Potter Dementors. If you put them in real life and gave them like a mechanical body, it would be a Furby.
But yeah, the one other thing I've got to bring up, Candace is talking to Meep, And Meap's got the universal translator on now, and he's like, I go around busting criminals doing awful things. And Candace goes, oh, so you're like the me of the galaxy. No, he's not, Candace. He's a cop.
He's the police, and you're just some random girl who doesn't like her brothers doing bad things. He is a person
You
who
are
has
not
been
equivalent.
authorized to get rid of bad people. And Phineas and Ferb
do you
aren't
reckon
bad.
Meap has the license to kill 007 style?
100%. 100%.
Do you reckon Meep let Ferb get away with
I'd let
his
Meep
not street
kill
legal
me.
car?
Yeah, same. But that's actually a good point. Did Ferb ever receive reprimands for building an illegal car?
No.
He just probably give him one of those smouldering looks, and they're like, nah, you're good. Good to go.
I do
Yeah.
like the point where Mitch is at Phineas and Ferb. He's like, "You're my prisoners. You will now be my animals in there." And he says something, and it's just
Oh,
like,
it's
"They
it's
couldn't
nah,
if you-"
it's cool. It's taco night back
Nah,
home.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got tacos. I want to get some tacos.
So you can't keep me here. Sorry, I'm gonna be. I'll leave when I want to.
Mum's
It's like,
tacos
you
just
And
hit
it's like-
different. I gotta go.
yeah. Exactly. It's just him going. You could not if you fucking tried.
Bitch, you can
It's-
step off this, mate.
You are still alive because of our hospitality. You're welcome. Say thank you, bitch.
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb, they're not staying for anyone
Mm.
unless they want to.
And then one last thing, right at the very end, everything the screen goes black. We're showing the Disney Channel logo, and then the trailer voice that was talking about the Meap Chronicles of Seattle trailer goes, "In a world, there, I said it."
Good joke, because that's where they always start. And now we're going to talk about any sponsorships we have, which, spoiler alert, we don't. But I do have a beautiful computer in the background
I don't
here.
know if you can hear
Yeah,
the
me too.
fans.
I'm
you
I'm
could, if
looking
you
at a lot of
can't-
products from a certain brand as well at the moment. Just,
Yeah, and I've got actually quite a few brands on my desk here that we could very easily get behind, but obviously
There's
we
not a
can't.
brand on my
Yeah.
desk that I wouldn't get behind. I've got
Exactly.
Twinings, Great Northern, and then just computers. Like, I'm sorry,
Whoa.
anyone hit me up.
You'll love to see it.
Exactly.
I'm holding a brand in my hand that I would not like a sponsorship from.
Yeah, if they
Put
ever
a
did
charger in your goddamn box.
them. You idiots, use USB-C.
Mhm.
The entire EU decided it was a good idea. They were like, you know what's a good idea?
They're like,
Having a universal phone charge. You know what?
They're
Apple's
like,
like,
We
fuck
just won't
yeah.
put a
They're like
charger in there.
ambiguous
Boom,
phone
get around
brand
that
that went-
one, bitch.
yeah, they're like ambiguous phone brand. Use USB-C, and they're like, so if we put a USB-C cable in there, then that counts, right? And they're like, yeah, of course you're gonna use USB-C for charging. And they're like, lightning to USB-C, and no
What?
charging brick. And I'm like, fuck off! That's not what they meant.
That's
It's-
America for you. Like,
Yes.
just like we're
They're
better
so
than you-
dirty.
You
Reducing the
EU.
box size, being able to send them.
Reduce
more
the
of them.
box size, but we're gonna have to ship a fuckload of bricks. Anyway,
them.
there is a brand I would love to be sponsored by. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's some very sexy mic quality going on
Hopefully,
here.
this sounds impeccable,
Mhm.
and that's because I have a brand new microphone,
Yes.
and I'd love to tell you what it is.
We can't.
We can't.
Sorry. It's
Yeah,
done.
it's
Cut,
too
cut there.
hard.
You're not getting any more, guys.
So yeah. So if there's a mic brand out there that rhymes with schmode that wants to sponsor the show,
It is 4
Ode.
letters.
It's full letters. Rhymes with hode.
then let me just tell you, we love everything you've ever done. So
yeah,
you
we've
know,
currently got 2.
except for
of your products.
everything that you make that isn't a microphone.
Wow, you're gonna call them out like that?
Yeah, make better things that aren't microphones.
What if they sponsor us now? They won't. They're gonna
Yeah.
listen to this and be like, "This ungrateful piece of shit."
It's all
To be
local
clear,
products.
you're also the best microphones by a long way. So I don't care if you don't make other good stuff. But also,
I'd like to say my co-host doesn't speak for me here. And any sponsorship, please come our way.
Beautiful. Anyway, we've waffled on for long enough.
We have.
Would we like to do some plugging and bring it home?
Yep. Plug the Instagram. Plug the Twitter. I got a Twitter
Oh,
now.
the Twitter.
Yes,
the
we got
Twitter.
a Twitter.
Get on
Yes, just so I can
What's
harass
the at?
Elon Musk because that's what happened in the
Harassing
last
celebrities
episode.
on Twitter is the new.
It's the new go-to.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course our favorite.
The Twitter is
format.
called of Ferb.
It's-
Is the at so of_Ferb, and it's called Implications of Phineas and Ferb.
Of
And the
Ferb.
bio is absolutely amazing. 2 dudes in a hot booth discuss the implied ridiculousness of a show they aren't the target demographic
5 feet
for.
apart because we're not gay.
Manly.
You should
Classic.
probably update that now.
Yeah, probably should.
And if you want to go on the best format in Zach's opinion, that is YouTube, and comment on how good
YouTube.
Zach is.
YouTube is
Yeah,
fantastic.
hop
YouTube
on the
comment
YouTube,
section
have a
is just
chat.
great.
It is the best comment section. Also, you could do what we would like to call a review built into Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, chuck a review on Apple Podcasts.
Boost that
Have we got
algorithm.
any fresh
that
reviews?
algorithm.
Yeah, it
Send
helps
me a
us out, helps
Gmail.
out the show.
A Gmail. Send me an email on
Yeah.
my Gmail.
Yeah, implications at phineas@verb@gmail.com.
We just want someone to talk to us. Like, just hit
We
us up.
struggle already with that.
With loneliness, because like I have no friends. Like
You
I'm looking
kinda
around
have
this
one.
booth and I'm looking over at the Discord and I'm not seeing any people that I like. So
Yeah.
I would really like if some people just
That's
reached
fair
out
enough.
and talked to me. Yeah. Anyway, that's about all.
That's about all.
See you in Meapless in
We're gonna-
Seattle.
Oh, I know what we've done today.
I know what we've done today.
I know what we've done today.